I gotta let the Aquarius show. Last night I wrote in my journal because I was having a little bit of a challenging time emotionally. Social media, as beautiful of an invention as it is, it can also corrupt our minds and spirits in a way that is unproductive. Although I don't know if corruption is ever a good thing. I'm going to read a portion of my passage that I wrote yesterday, and then I'm going to talk about it. Comparison is the thief of joy. My sense of worth appears to be so wrapped up in the ebbs and flows of validation that at the first sight of what I interpret as rejection, I have a sudden case of amnesia of the people who have followed, commented, and ordered. And there's more in there. Just like I said in there, I feel like I've been so wrapped up in comparing my journey to other people in regards to what success looks like in social media, that I had to bring myself back to life. Today I feel like a completely different version, but last night I was weeping because I had such a sense and spirit of confusion of like, what am I doing wrong? What should I be doing differently? Why is it not receiving what I was expecting to receive from me showing up consistently? My therapist said that the way to combat the anxiety that shows up in expectations is to be present and be in the now. What I also realized is I've been trying to cater to too many people. I've been really sidestepping and trying not to ruffle any feathers by being my authentic self. And so today I am reintroducing myself as Empress Kwamine, a highly spiritual woman, a highly creative woman, and a highly sensitive woman. All of those go hand in hand. I speak about, read about, and think about often the esoteric. I participate in the art of the tarot. I don't need it to be closer to divinity. However, I do use it as a tool. I'm a visual learner, and being able to recognize my intuition in the symbolism of the cards is helpful for me. And I believe it could be helpful for a lot of people. I'm not religious. I am full of faith and grounded in faith and very spiritual. I like to take the best parts from different schools of thought and religions to create my own belief system. I believe what you put out into the world, you get back. I think you need to be good to your neighbor. I also think you need to have healthy boundaries as well. I believe in love and light, and I also believe in the dark because you can't have one without the other. Where the moon sits and transits directly impacts not only how I move personally, but also professionally. So I'm very much in tune with the skies, astrology. I have an astrologer. She's also my business mentor. I'm a very creative woman, and I believe that creativity comes from the divine. You'll often hear me call God divine spirit. I don't get caught up in the language of it because this language that I'm speaking right now was not the first language. So if I get so caught up in it, in saying, oh, I can only call divine spirit God, that doesn't make sense because spirit was here way before this spoken word of English. How can you tell that to people who speak Spanish or speak French or speak Swahili that they need to say God when that's not their language? I often speak about the universe. I do believe the universe is always conspiring in my favor. It may not always look and feel pretty at the moment. However, I do have faith and I stand firm in that. I believe in authenticity. I believe we're shifting back to a place where people are going to be more confident in themselves. I believe in freedom of choice for everyone, especially women. I believe that if you want to be natural in any and every way you can, I support that and I encourage it. I think actually that should be the foundation for all of us. We can enhance our beauty using makeup. I have makeup on my lips and I have mascara on. However, when we use it as a mask, I believe we forget who we truly are underneath. And when we play dress up for so long, we stop seeing our natural selves as beautiful. However, as I said, I believe in freedom of choice. So if women want to wear makeup and if that's what makes them feel good about themselves, I support it. I think being unique is a superpower because I believe we live in a world of sheep. I believe in the power of crystals and herbs. I'm very connected to the natural world. I also believe in science. I believe science just scientifically proves what spirituality has been saying for so long. I believe in different dimensions and realms. I also understand the importance of grounding myself here because I am in this beautiful vessel, this beautiful physical body of mine. I speak about radical self-love all the time because, as I said earlier, it's so important to love the person underneath the mask that we put on or what we put on to embellish our beauty. I believe self-expression is so important. I'm not going to get along with everybody. Everyone's not going to understand me. I believe in grace. I believe in therapy. I believe in literature. I believe art is spiritual. I believe that we are spiritual beings having a human experience. I know that I do not know everything, and I also don't believe I'm meant to know everything. There's so much to know. I feel that I would be overloaded with information. I believe I'm here on a mission. I believe I'm divinely guided, and I also have the divine within me. I was created by the divine. I don't call the divine spirit as a he or a she. And actually, if I were to put a pronoun with it, I'd probably say she. I don't believe I need an intermediary between me and my divinity for me to be closer to the divine spirit. I believe I have that within me. I believe in ancestor veneration. Their blood runs through my veins, especially for those who I have known here on this earth. I believe that their spirit is still connected and able to support in ways where they were unable to in the limits of this physical body. I believe that race is a social construct, and I also believe that because of this social construct, marginalized communities such as what we call Black people or melanated people have been oppressed and have been handicapped. I also believe that we're also very, very strong and very, very powerful, because why else would people want to try to keep you down and keep you from the knowledge of your power? I also believe the same thing about women. We're very powerful. I have favorite trees. I'm often talking to them. I hug trees. You'll see me speaking to the water I'm about to consume. I infuse intention into everything that I do. I also give myself grace. I don't have any children right now. Maybe I will, maybe I won't biologically. I don't believe that it's necessary for me to live a fulfilled life. In fact, I love my selfish time. I'm creating a legacy that is very valuable and very important. And if children come into the mix at the time that they're meant to, then I also welcome them. I believe that we're all worthy of respect. But not everyone is worthy of my time and to be in my space. I've gone through very traumatic experiences in my life. The first one I remember being a very little girl. However, even before then, apparently, when I was a baby, the doctors tried to stick a needle in my head. And the one Black nurse on staff said, "Why don't you put it in her foot instead?" So I recognize that I'm also here for a reason. And I believe in symbolism and signs. I'm always evolving. I'm always learning. I'm becoming more and more self-aware. I don't claim to know all the secrets of life. and I will continue to evolve. That's the beauty of life. Music is so powerful, and it's a huge part of my life. I would say those vibrational frequencies paired with poetry gives you a good glimpse of me. So I say all this to say, I'm going to keep showing up because I know my voice is powerful and my stories need to be heard. However, I need to clear the air and clear the space so that those who value who I am authentically will find their way, because then they'll know that they're safe here in this no judgment zone where we still hold each other accountable with love and grace. However, we're also very free to be ourselves. It's very freeing to be able to speak the language of your soul. So it's not about me wanting validation from people and wanting the likes and the comments and the praises. Instead, I really want my tribe and my people to find me. And so this is a public service announcement. This is a public service announcement that I, Empress Kwamine, is a spiritual woman who believes and lives by what some would call woo-woo. I speak to the universe. I hug trees. I wear crystals. One day you may see me perusing through a Bible, the next day through a Quran, the next day pulling cards from the tarot. That's who I am. And I know that there are also other people out there that are like me. I know because I've met some of them. So if that is who you are, or you're interested in that and feel called to this energy and this type of space, I welcome you. Welcome.